President Trump sharing Richard Jewell's testimony that denounced the FBI and the fake news media way back when. Oh yes. Now before we show it to you, please be informed that YouTube has removed us from suggested videos. They're actively suppressing our reach by surfacing CNN and MSNBC when folks are searching for news on YouTube. So please continue to help us reach new viewers by sharing our reports via text message with your loved ones. Likewise, go ahead and tap that red subscribe button down below so you are the first to know when we publish new reports. The story from the Daily Wire, Paul Bios reports. Boyce? Is it Boyce? Bios? I always say Bios. I think it's Boyce.
Putting our feelings aside, an impeached president who doesn't feel impeached could be a very dangerous man. Joining me now to discuss, Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger. Congressman, I have a lot of questions for you about the very real consequences of the president's lack of shame. But first, I want to acknowledge something important off the top. Last night, President Trump signed into law the Caesar Act. It's a bill you co-sponsored, which sanctions Bashar al-Assad, Russia, and Iran for its war crimes. It's a significant piece of legislation that lets the world know there are consequences, finally. And it showed that bipartisanship.
Joining us now with the reaction to all of today's news is Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan and House Freedom Caucus Chairman Andy Biggs of Arizona. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I had the honor and privilege of serving with both of you. Congressman Jordan, I want to start with you. What in the world? I guess we forgot to ask, or somebody forgot to ask, Speaker Pelosi, if you actually pass at lightning speed this impeachment, are you going to send it over to the Senate? Was that something that you were supposed to ask along the way?
No. It's again, the cliche is true. It's laughable if it wasn't so serious. But the idea that Nancy Pelosi is going to try to negotiate with Mitch McConnell and try to tell Mitch McConnell how to run the Senate, that is laughable. Here's what happened, Jason. On September 24th, when Speaker Pelosi announced they were going to go down this crazy impeachment road, she never expected to lose support across the country, and she certainly didn't expect to lose support within her own conference. Remember, yesterday we had one Democrat vote with us, we had another Democrat vote present, and we had a third Democrat switch parties because everyone sees the facts are on the president's side. So she did not expect any of that to happen, and now she doesn't know what to do because
that is what they decided to do. And, you know, Naveed, we were talking the other day, the three of us were actually talking off air about it's so concerning to military leadership that when you have members of the Naval Academy playing what they're now saying was the circle game, you know, and doing it on camera, it prompts an investigation within the military, which they're saying was not throwing the upside down OK white power sign, but that it prompts an investigation that it has to happen. You have situations where a U.S. Coast Guard lieutenant was accused of planning large-scale killing of civilians. We're starting to see that kind of investigation having to happen. It frightens me as a civilian to think that the military is also having to deal with this, because obviously this is an armed entity with a lot of power and potential, you know.
That's a very
access.
good point. And look, I think that nationalism or terrorism or any ideology is symbolism, is the idea of iconography, the idea that there are symbols that represent that ideology. Now, I don't doubt that those midshipmen and that West Point cadet were actually not doing the white power symbol, but it's got to be something that we teach. It shouldn't be something that's okay. They should understand why it's not okay to do that.
Yeah, and very quickly, I'm going to get you guys to quickly comment on this new Military Times poll, which is actually a different side of this coin.
Now to Decision 2020. Impeachment drama took center stage in last night's Democratic presidential debate, but the candidates quickly turned back to attacking each other. News 4 government affairs reporter Melissa Russo has more from Los Angeles.
It was a constitutional necessity.
On defense, Democrats trying to explain why impeachment isn't more popular.
We cannot have a president with that temperament.
You know, I made the decision when I decided to run not to do business as usual. Most of the people on this stage run a traditional campaign.
I think it is vital he be impeached. Whether removed this close to an election, I don't know, but I think the conduct is impeachable, the former HP CEO said to CNN. Let's watch.
Move from off.
That's all, folks.